his most conventional horror novel.
So you're saying I like the most
Some,
conventional type of things. Okay.
yeah, well, that's like I don't know if you'd want to read like a study of pessimism. Um,
No, probably not. I'd like to
yeah,
read something
or
that's like that reads like a novel, I guess, is really what I'm.
yeah. So
Yeah.
The Unyielding is probably your best bet.
Or read somewhat like a novel, right? I'm not entirely, I mean, I'm not, I can handle unconventional structure and whatnot, right? But
Like
I don't
Terminal
like,
Park is basically a novel, but it dovetails into very bizarre commentary on Psycho.
yeah, I mean, I might have to give it a whirl.
Guys, I was still going to do a fictional character spotlight and try to make
Oh,
that a weekly thing.
Fin Fang Foom.
Oh,
No.
that might be. Yeah, that might be. Okay, let's go ahead and go there. Who did you want to do it on?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been haunted all week by this. Okay. And it inspired me. The movie scene that the character is in, it inspired me to go back to the beginning and trace the roots and the source material for it. God, I'm gonna feel terrible even talking about it. It's haunted me so much. I had blocked this entire portion of this folklore story and movie and whatnot out of my head, apparently, because I remember it crystal clear, and it spooks the hell out of me. Can anyone tell me what that is? It's familiar, right?
Pleasure Island from Pinocchio.
Yeah, from
Yes.
Pinocchio. Yeah.
And this,
Oh, as I think I know what you're going to talk about.
uh-huh.
The
And this
Guillermo del Toro.
This poor
movie?
kid right here, Lampwick, originally known as Candlewick in the original 1911 story by Carlo Collodi,
Mhm.
Pinocchio. He was originally called Candlewick. So Pinocchio befriends this Candlewick character in the book, and Lampwick in the movie. They go to, either in the book it's the Land of Toys, in the movies it's usually Pleasure Island, where boys can just misbehave all day and night without consequence, cuss, get into free fist fights with each other, smoke
Yeah.
cigars, drink beer, and and just eat junk food, till their heart's content.
Jeremy's
basically how we spend our weekends now as adult men.
house. Jeremy's house.
Okay. Oh God, I don't know if I can do this.
Do you want to play the scene?
I don't know if I can. I don't know how I got through it as a kid. I think my mom just kind of glazed over it and said, just don't be like them and you'll be okay or something. Maybe she did that. I don't know. Okay. So here goes. So as these kids, get deeper into their, their expedition at Pleasure Island or the Land of Toys, they begin to develop the features of donkeys. Okay. They literally, in the words of Jiminy Cricket, turn themselves into jackasses. And he tries to warn them that this isn't right, as they, it seems too good to be true. And, he says, you don't need my help to turn yourself into complete jackasses. And he goes off frustrated that none of the kids, particularly Pinocchio, will listen to him. In fact, this Lampwick character, or Candlewick as in the book, frequently refers to Jiminy Cricket as a grasshopper, a beetle, and just kind of bullies him and tells him, dude, get out of here,
Doesn't he? Either he or Pinocchio actually smashes him with a hammer at some point in the book, doesn't he?
I'm pretty sure, but I've not finished the book.
Here's the problem. In the source material, the novel by Carlo Collodi, when the kids are, particularly Lampwick or Candlewick, are taken off, turned into donkeys, they're sold off to salt mines and water mills to work, and because they're not born donkeys, most of them end up dying of exhaustion. Let's see here. 2.
But why are they turned into donkeys? Why do they turn into
At
donkeys?
least 6 adaptations of Pinocchio are faithful to that source material of Lampwick dying of exhaustion as a donkey. Okay. They actually show it.
But
Why?
why are they turning into donkeys?
Because
because they made jackasses of themselves.
the coachman needs free labor, and here's the thing: he has this haunting phrase that he lays on these kids as they're saying, "I want my mama," in like they sound like they're actually traumatized children. And of course, it's Disney, so maybe they were taking in the back room between voice acting. I mean, okay, but I mean, they sound legitimately traumatized in the voice acting sessions of the movie. Some of the movies, particularly this version. You know, he says, "I want my mama." You know, it's horrible.
Right.
And the guy's just like, "You've had your fun, now pay for it."
That is the statement that haunts me. You've had your fun, now pay for it.
Yeah, it's all about having a hangover.
Yeah, I wonder why this disturbs you so much, Jeremy. It's literally showing children the consequences of their behavior. Like, are you unwilling to own up to the consequences of your behavior? Is that the problem?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I know it's I think like a child literally turning into an animal in what seems to be a very painful transformation.
And it's
just about excessive.
Well,
it's slavery.
It's exaggerated. Trying to scare the shit out of kids.
Work to death.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, don't fuck around.
I mean,
fuck around and find out. Stupid prizes. I mean, these are
kids do is fuck around. What? I mean, they grow out of it.
They're becoming a slave to their addiction.
It's written by an Italian. I'm pretty sure like that the way they punish their kids is like is not even how Italians actually punish their kids is way worse.
Okay, now let me go through it here, kind of for all well read and professional, like Gregor did with The Shadow and Regina did with Gene Wolfe. So the first version from the Carlo Collodi book dies from exhaustion after becoming a donkey from his time on the Land of Toys. In the 1940 adaptation, which you're looking at here,
by Disney,
he was renamed from Candlewick to Lampwick. His fate is left ambiguous. He next appears in a 1972 Italian animated film that's closer to the source material. And he dies of exhaustion, even as Pinocchio volunteers to do his work at the mill for him, which is, that's much closer to the book because it shows several months of them being, transforming into donkeys and being stuck on this island. This nightmare fuel, here. The 1996 film, The Adventures of Pinocchio, he's eventually returned to being a boy for doing good deeds and remains Pinocchio's friend. Okay, this is the only version where that is corrected, is in that 1996 film. It continues in the 2002 film where he's voiced by Topher Grace, which, I mean, it's Topher Grace. He probably deserves it, but not the kid he was portraying. Sold to a farmer and found dying after Pinocchio and Geppetto escaped the giant shark. In the 2008 miniseries, Lampwick comes from a troubled home life, That's got to factor in somewhere. He dies here, too, from exhaustion as a donkey. However, he reflects on how he could have been better if his father had been like Geppetto. That's even worse, okay?
Don't we all turn into donkeys and die of exhaustion in our own way, though, Jeremy?
Yeah, we're slowly doing that.
I know what you mean by that. He appears next in the 2012 Italian adaptation, where his fate is once again left unknown. Sometimes it's left unknown. His name is changed here to Wickley for some reason. Disney most recently did a live action remake in 2022. I haven't seen it, but
I've heard it ain't shit.
But it does replicate this scenario where he's sold to the salt mines, and I don't know if it shows him dying of exhaustion or not, but that's horrible that they would actually take it that far in every version, seems like, except the 1996 version where they actually put him back, set him right again. That seems like a better, more complete fable. He does good deeds and is able to be restored as a good boy. I mean, that makes more sense to me. That's a complete arc to me. I don't get why every version has to torture the fuck out of him to death. I mean,
what about the new
because he had his fun and now he has to pay for it.
And now, that's what I'm coming to now is the most recent version, the Guillermo del Toro version on Netflix, which completely omits the Land of Toys Pleasure Island scenario in favor of Pinocchio, Candlewick, and the other mischievous boys becoming soldiers for Mussolini's army, which to me is stupid, but I would actually prefer that over this horrible, take here. I mean, it's actually much.
That's a very odd take. It kind of reminds me of that one really weird, fucked up Nutcracker adaptation where the rats were Nazis.
Yeah. Oh, Mouse. Maus.
No, like there's an adaptation of the Nutcracker where the rats are basically Nazis who burn toys in ovens. It's really fucked up. And for some reason, the Rat King is like this weird combination of Hitler and Andy Warhol.
What happened, Gregor? Gregor, is that why you turned into a goat because you couldn't behave when you were a young lad?
I don't want to talk about it.
No, he became like that because his human father put his human penis in a goat's vagina.
Well, that's obviously logical and correct. Yes.
Okay, now I'm almost.
And you just sat by and let him do that, Gregor.
There
You
is.
disgust me.
I wasn't discussed yet. I couldn't really much too much about it.
I didn't know too much about it.
Now there is one final appearance that Lampwick makes that I kind of have to go back to the 90s for, and it's a blink and you miss it scene in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where I guess he's just a cartoon actor, and he's in a billboard advertisement for Acme Exploding Cigars. I don't even remember that, but dude, Who Framed Roger
Candlewick
Rabbit
character was?
Yeah,
Wow.
the Disney stuff. But yeah, so he's advertising for Acme Exploding Cigars. Now, my question is, and this is actually kind of getting my creative juices going. I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk around it. Why, in a world where a wooden boy can become a real boy, can a bad boy from a broken home not reverse his misfortune by being turned into a donkey? Yeah, that's all wrong to me. It sounds like the 1996 version is the only one to get it right, with this horrible trauma inflicted on generations of kids watching this, and it didn't make a difference because kids will instinctively misbehave at some point. I mean,
can I throw
yes.
some postulation out there?
Okay.
In order to show the magnitude of the consequences that Pinocchio avoided, you want to show a character that doesn't avoid the consequences and plays the. So you're talking about, well, he deserves an arc. Well, the story is about Pinocchio. The story isn't about the secondary character. That's what's called a foil.
Yeah.
This character is a foil character, not a fully formed character, and his entire existence in the story is to show what would have happened had Pinocchio continued down his path, which then shows you, it drives home the consequences that he avoided. It's actually
But Jeremy, you're thinking just like these Disney executives, and you might want to give them a call and say you want to, get together and talk about a Lampwick spinoff.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Is Pinocchio in the public domain? Because
in the MCU, I think.
Yeah, they're going to put it in there, but I don't know. Maybe
Rule 34.
Here's the thing, Gregor's
no. I mean, yeah, we already know the joke around that. Lie to me, baby.
Okay, yeah, Gregor's not far off, but I wasn't thinking about Disney executives because I'm pretty sure if I did it on Candlewick, I could just use the public domain defense. Okay, but I'm not talking about. I'm talking about a fully actually literary dramatic. I'm thinking of a dramatic literary faithful to form
spin-off story,
character restoration. Yeah, but it's not a spin-off story. It's like finally correcting a literary injustice.
I'm pretty sure it's by definition a spin-off story.
Yes, but it's
sort of like when you do a story about a character from the Bible or something.
It's correcting a literary injustice. It's a horrible affliction on this poor character, forced to die of exhaustion in one version of the story after another. It's horrible. I actually feel for empathy for this character like it were a real person. Okay,
that's what I was getting ready to say. You really give me Chris Chan vibes sometimes. I think there's a blurring between fiction and reality in your world.
Well, yes, because my mother instilled in me a deep appreciation for fiction at a young age, and it's like when she passed, it blew the roof off that forever, and now it's like fiction is my reality. Okay.
Yeah, Jeremy wants to make sure when the dimensional merge happens that Candlewick is going to be okay.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well,
he's got his list.
Jeremy, let me just tell you this. I encourage you to develop this Candlewick idea.
I'm not going to talk about it any more than that because
Yeah, don't talk about it anymore, but you should develop it. I think it's a good idea.
My girlfriend actually said this is an awesome idea too, and that's all I'll say about it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put much faith in that or whatever.
I mean,
in that, but
you're probably right.
That is a woman's opinion,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to it while I was fucking her.
Yeah.
I want to rescue him. Donkey. I want to rescue him.
I mean,
can you imagine Jeremy just railing this bitch from behind? About, this is the biggest literary injustice. Let me tell you about this character.
He's a donkey. He doesn't deserve that.
I love it when you talk stupid, Jeremy.
It's like that one meme. Oh, baby, talk to me like you're a fucking idiot.
Okay, that's all I can stand about that subject. I can't. It was hard to get through. I swear it was.
It disturbed me as a child too. That was very heavy. But that's what I like about animated films from the 70s and 80s is they were heavy and they forced children to confront things that maybe parents didn't have the tact to do in an artful way, and showing these big overarching epic stories. Like Pinocchio is an epic story. It's a great fable, a great moral tale, and showing that to a child is going to traumatize them in certain respects. But it's also going to, you start to develop perspective that a parent may not have the vocabulary or the tact to explore on their own without the help of these really deep fables.
Yeah, like I don't know how they do it in the new Pinocchio, but I've heard that in the new one, like they way tone down Pleasure Island. Like apparently they drink soda instead of beer, and they just eat a lot of candy.
Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, that deserves being worked to death in the salt mines. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't have any desire to see that at all. I have.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I would much rather watch
Del Toro one.
Not just the Del Toro one, but I'm pretty sure I'd rather watch I don't know, whatever. I'm pretty sure I'd rather have the Levigo treatment than watch Pinocchio, the new live action Pinocchio.
Yeah, I mean the cartoon was good. I mean the Disney cartoon.
Oh yeah, it's a fucking classic.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Now here, let's ruin it by making this jack off live action shit that we just come directly into Disney Plus.
I did not like the Del Toro version at all. I really.
I'm probably gonna watch it tomorrow.
The Mussolini thing. I mean, I'm glad that I didn't have to sit through a new version of the Pleasure Island torture. But the Mussolini thing was like really underwhelming. It's like
there was no Pleasure Island.
No, that's what I'm saying. They replaced that. They removed Del Toro removed that completely and said that he thought, man, Mussolini is way scarier than that. I'm going to make them soldiers for Mussolini. It did not work at all. And also, Pinocchio.
Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense because like the original Pinocchio was a political satire, or it had heavy aspects of that. Obviously, we won't recognize it because none of us are going to recognize early 20th century Italian political characters.
If it was, it would have been a commentary on World War I, not II.
Well, right? I think it was even before World War I.
Oh, okay. So,
I just think that it looks ugly.
What?
The Pinocchio movie, yeah.
There's another part that I despised, and it was where Pinocchio has a confrontation with the embodiment of death, and I thought that was just Del Toro being like masturbatory. Like we expect that of him. Like it was too Tim Burton-ish.
Yeah, he's becoming the new Tim Burton, unfortunately.
But he dreams big, and most of his projects never see fruition. Gee, who does that sound like here? Yeah. But
Jeremy just compared himself to Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah. No, just a fraction of Del Toro, the kind that doesn't.
Jeremy, I think that you shouldn't be so hard on yourself, and you need to shut yourself away and work on this lamp flick story.
I still
Yeah, like Guillermo del Toro's problem is that he occasionally gets fucked over by the studio system. Your problem is, you just sit down and write the goddamn thing.
Yeah. Well, I have less time
Do it,
now,
bitch.
so it's even harder. I have
Bitch,
less
write it.
real life time to.
Jeremy, I think you
Look,
can do it. I think you're selling yourself
Look at-
short, and I think you need to,
These are all
have a little bit
just-
more confidence
We
in
all have the
yourself.
same
Like how much? Like all you need to do is take a bunch of amphetamines and scribble it out like you did with those notes.
That's true. These are all notes just for tonight's show because I wanted to knock it out of the park tonight. I feel like actually we have, right?